Hello beautiful and welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video where we're going to try out a full face of affordable makeup, full face of, I think most of these things are found at the drugstore. It's like the drugstore section at Ulta, does that count? I feel like that counts. As a Swede, I don't know the difference. But we are going to try out some new things. I'm going to be using some oldies but goodies, some things that have been in my collection for a really long time that I really love, and we're just going to try it out and see how it covers up my face because, yeah, there are some things to cover up. Let's chat about that as well. And if I haven't been there before, if this is your first video here, hello, my name is Angie. I'm such a lover of beauty makeup. I love everything beauty and makeup related. And I have recently really been enjoying exploring the drugstore section in US stores. So that's what we're going to do today. And if you want to see some more makeup content on your timeline, don't forget to subscribe because I upload several videos every week. So I do have a couple of things here that I want to try. I have the Jason Wu Tinted Moisturizer meets CC Cream. In my last video that I did trying drugstore makeup, which was fairly recently, I didn't have a foundation to try because honestly, I don't have a single drugstore foundation except the NYX Bear With Me that I think is discontinued. Drugstore makeup in Sweden wasn't really a thing. Usually it was as expensive as just buying high-end. To be honest, you might as well just buy high-end, and we don't have any drugstores in Sweden, so I haven't really been trying that much of what is in the US considered as drugstore brands, but I was intrigued by this one, so we're gonna try it out. I bought it in the shade 5. I also have the Pixie On The Glow Bronze. This one I bought at Target, and this one I also bought at Target. And then I have some of the new Colourpop stuff, so I thought I would try it out. I also have a gloss, and then I'm gonna use just some of the things that I have that are affordable. I'm making an effort to use mostly affordable makeup today so that we can just chat a little bit about affordable options as well, because most of the time I do tend to use stuff that is mid-ranged or high-end, and I will be honest, most of the things that I love on my channel is indie. I also want to quickly, before I zoom in and we start doing makeup, you can see I have some bruises here. It's a little yellow, and I also have a bruise here. I did try out some fillers for the first time. I am a very curious person, and I really wanted to see what it can do. I don't feel like my face is that changed, like I can see it change, but it's on, like, I didn't do fillers in my lips because I like my lips. I don't want to do any fillers, but I did do a little fillers, just a little, and it did bruise me a little bit. So I'm also going to show you how I'm going to cover that up. So let's zoom in, and let's start. I hope this foundation is a good shade because that's my only option. Here you can see a little bit more up close. You can see there's a little here, and I have this, of course, and then there's some in this area. That's going to be easy to cover up though, but I am going to start with the e.l.f. Gripping Primer. This is basically, I'm going to be honest, I think that this is a dupe for the Milk Gripping Primer. It's this called the Gripping Primer, Power Grip Primer, this one from e.l.f. I really like it. I think it's a really good primer. If you want to try a gripping primer and you don't want to spend a lot of money, I definitely recommend this one. I will say, oh, what is that? That was something white. I will say the best result you will get if you put it on, pat it in where you need some extra grip, and then leave it maybe 4 minutes or so. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave it because I have noticed that the result is better if you don't go in straight away on a gripping primer. And I'm gonna be using, and this is not drugstore because I don't have a drugstore option, but I'm gonna be using the color corrector from Sigma. This is amazing, and I'm gonna show how I'm gonna color correct the discoloring. How do you say that in English? Discoloring on my face, and then we'll go on with some foundation over that I hope is gonna match. Let's open this and see if this is gonna match because I haven't even opened the tape. I like the packaging, but I will say, like in the drugstores in the US, wait, let me get this out. You don't get any testers, and in Sweden, because affordable makeup isn't really that affordable in Sweden, there's testers of everything. So I just went with a shade. That could be my shade, and you can tell, like my hand is a lot more tan than my face. You can see that. Everyone can see that. So I do have to use something that's a little darker on my face because I have a good tan right now. Yeah, that actually looks like it could be good. I have a good tan right now going on because I actually like being by the pool, and I mean in Sweden it's not that easy to get a tan, and I tan quite easily. But I still use exfoliating product on my face, so my tan does disappear from my face. But I think that's gonna be good. Okay, let me leave this for a couple of minutes and I'll be back and let's use that on my face. I'm excited. This is the first time I'm trying this brand. Have you tried it? Okay, let's start with the Sigma color corrector. This is actually called the Spectrum Color Correcting Duo. I have mine in medium to dark. And I'm gonna use the one that is the darker shade of the two. And I'm just using a little duo fiber brush. And I'm just gonna be brushing on a little bit. And you can see instantly that disappeared. Did you see that? And I have a little here. And of course I have a little here. This one you can tell it's a little darker, but I mean I'm gonna use foundation here, so it's gonna be fine. But this color is just taking away that green tint that we had underneath. And then of course I have the big one here. This is gonna be, of course, well, you can see already, it's gonna be the hardest one to cover, but I do think I'm gonna do fine. And for me, the way that I can get this to last and to not like just smear away is that I will set this with just a little bit of powder over here where I use these things. Can you magic. Love this one. If you have very dark under eyes, it's perfect. It comes in 3 different shades. It has a fair to light, a medium to dark, and a dark to deep. Is that? I'm not 100%, but 3 different shades. I have the middle one. I'm gonna use a little bit of my absolute favorite powder, which is the one from NYX. Wait, this one. You can see this pan and this one. I think this is my 6th one. So I'm just using a little bit. Not packing it on, just a little bit to set where I did that color corrector. And then we're gonna go in with the foundation. And remember, if you're gonna use foundation on top of this, no like swiping. I don't think a brush is the best if you're doing stuff like this. You need to be patting a little bit. So I'm gonna use a sponge. It's already looking so good. I'm gonna use a sponge and we're gonna use this one and hopefully this one is going to be a good color. I'm just using a dabbly dab. I hope this is going to look good. How's the texture? It is creamy, but not super thick, but also not runny. I think the color could be good. So I'm just patting this on and being extra careful where I already, that's a hair, sweetie, where I already color corrected. I honestly think this is a great shade. Listen, they had 3 shades to choose from. They had 1, 3, and 5. Now that I think of it, is this the darkest shade that they had in store? They have a lot of shades online, but is this the darkest shade that they have in store? That's not ideal. Although you can buy all the shades on Target.com and probably even pick them up in store, but like, that's not the ideal. On the other hand, you don't get to try them out in store anyway. So I mean, does it really matter? Maybe not. I would say that this is a medium coverage, so I think it was really good that I did some color correcting before, because otherwise I don't think that this would have covered, especially not this one. Okay, it's looking really good and it's looking kind of like fresh. I don't know if this is gonna set down more, but I'm gonna use a little bit of the Pretty Fresh by Colourpop powder. I have mine in light 8 and I'm just gonna use a little bit of that and the sponge to see if I can just get even more coverage over this part, because I see you can see the shadow still through. Don't love that. I mean, of course it's gonna go away in just like give it a day or two, but okay, I would say that it's fairly gone now with a little bit of added. I feel like this is a powder that has a little bit of coverage. Like if you use this powder on its own, it's basically a low coverage powder foundation. Let me do a little bit of a Superstay concealer by Maybelline. This is my favorite concealer from the drugstore right now, because this really looks, ooh, it's really light on me right now, because this really looks good on me throughout the day. I really like how this wears. So I'm not gonna put any here because I already powdered. I'm just gonna do a little bit like that. just a little bit. Like, this isn't new at all. I've used it all year, and yeah, that is one of my favorite releases of this year. I've been using it so much. Just using a little bit of this under my eyes, and also like in my T-zone, just where I put some concealer. But I feel like it's looking nice, right? There is still a little glow in the foundation out here, so it definitely gave some glow. I am going to be using this cream bronzer now, so maybe I shouldn't have powdered, but I really wanted to just cover the bruises up. Because this Pixie On The Glow bronze stick, I got mine in Rich Glow. And like I said, I bought this on Target. And it's one of those... it has a... protector. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. And it's one of these that you like, it flings up. So is this how I'm gonna do it? Because I feel this is a shimmery bronzer. Wow, I am really not making sense. But like, should we just try on one side? No, definitely not like that. Definitely not like that. I can tell you right now. So I'm gonna use a brush instead, and I'm gonna go over the stick like this. It's not as creamy as I was hoping it would be. Oh, it works a lot better with a brush. But that also means that maybe it has good longevity. Because I feel like sometimes those like more smeary ones, they don't set down on me. And yeah, there's definitely shimmer in here. So I'm going to use this as a blush and a bronzer. That looks good though, right? So maybe if you wanted to try the shimmery bronzer from Fenty, but you thought it was maybe a little bit too expensive, maybe this could be an alternative, but definitely did not work for me to just dry it on the skin. Maybe if you don't have like foundation on and just want to have a little bit of glow. But I feel like it looks good. There were a couple of colors. There were one that was a little bit more peachy, that maybe is like a... what would I say? Like a blush only. Okay, so initial impression of this one, it's a little sticky. Like, not like moist, not like just a little dewy, it's sticky. We're gonna see if it dries down, but this is definitely, if you like the Tower 28 ones, the ones that are a little sticky, this could be for you. Maybe it's not a dupe for the Fenty one, because of the Fenty one is a putty one. This is sticky. If you have dry skin, maybe it's perfect for you. I do not. I am going to do my eyebrows. I'm also going to do a little lip liner. I brought out this one from Juvia's Place. This one is in Sweet Nothing. So I'm going to use this one. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to do my brows, and then we can do highlighter and lip gloss. I have these new ones from ColourPop. I'm excited. I don't know why I bought these, but I couldn't resist it. It said that it was like the iridescent like collection, and I was like, yes, I'm about that. Okay, let's do a little bit of this in NYX Shadow Ultimate Base Shadow and Liner Primer. We're gonna use this one today. It is a little bit more on the tacky side, but I think that could benefit these colors that I'm using today, because the colors are a little bit more on the lighter side. So I'm probably gonna be packing them on instead of swiping them on to get the opaqueness that I want. And I feel like a more tacky primer could benefit that. So I'm putting that on. You can see it has a little bit of a tint, but not much. And this is the medium one. So I feel like, yeah, it's not much of a tint. Let's just put it like that. I'm gonna let that sit for 2 seconds. So let's use the So Glassy lip gloss from the, I don't remember, this collection is some kind of a seashell collection. This one is called Might as Shell. I know, the puns are strong with this one. And this is called Shell Shocked. Okay. This one is called Sunshine Required, and it's one of the iridescent glosses. And I did try one of these So Glassy lip glosses that was a sheer one with glitter. I got this one with the peachy gold, like shimmery, let's stop there. But I tried another one of these shimmery glosses in the So Glassy formula, did not like it, thought it was sticky. And then I tried one without shimmer, And I liked it. I didn't think it was sticky. So let's see if they actually... This does feel sticky. Change something. Loving that color though. Ooh, listen, I can be patient with a sticky gloss if it's this pretty. What a beautiful golden peachy iridescent, and still not like too pigmented or too frosty. I do like that color though. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's that it's a little bit thicker. Maybe maybe the old one was stickier. I'm gonna have to investigate, but I love this color. I'm fairly sure they had 2 more shades. One that was a blue or like a lilac or something like that. The packaging is stunning too with the iridescent. You can see the lid. And then one that was like a frosty pink. I'm not all about the frosty lips, so I decided to go with this goldy peach. And I like it. Maybe a little sticky, but not that it super bothers me. I don't know what was wrong. Maybe I was in a bad mood the first time I reviewed these. I don't know. Ooh, should we do the highlighter first? I bought the lighter one. There was a darker palette and then there was a lighter palette, and I decided to get the lighter palette. But yeah, if these shades look too light for you, these are all iridescent shades. They did have a darker option. What kind of a... I want to do... Am I boring for doing this one? I want to do that. Can I do that? Let me live. Maybe we'll use one of the other ones on the eyes, okay? Let me live. So this one is called Sunlit, the one that is a little yellowy toned. Let me see. And yeah, this is still a little sticky, so I'm sure that this is gonna stick right on. Yeah, that is a really nice pale gold. Really pretty. I do love the Super Shock highlight formula. Nobody is surprised. With this sticky base, this is going on maybe 2. Maybe 2 like opaque. Let me blend this out a bit. I'm gonna do a little bit here. I always do above my brows because I'm trying to elongate my forehead a little bit, because if you haven't noticed, I have the smallest forehead in the world, and I feel like highlighter above my brows really helps with the illusion to make my forehead look a little longer. So same here, I'm just trying to elongate my face a little bit because I'm very wide here. But yeah, that looks like a normal, beautiful Super Shock highlighter. Let me see if I... Oh, yeah. These are beautiful. So this is a violet blue. This is a baby pink. This seems more like a champagne-y, like a silvery champagne. And then we have this like yellowy one. They look stunning, honestly. They look stunning, beautiful quality. I bet that this one would be so pretty as like an accent in the middle of the eye. Very, very pretty. I'm actually really excited about this little quad. To have 4 Super Shocks in the same little quad, I like that. I'm kind of like, oh, I wish I had more. I don't though, because I have so many Super Shocks from Colourpop, but I like the whole Super Shock quads. Quads is enough, and to have it of the same formula in different colors, I kind of like it. I kind of like it, and they were different. Sometimes with like highlighter palettes, some of them are just so similar, so it makes no sense. These were 4 different iridescent highlighters. I like it. So we're gonna do this palette. This palette isn't really deep enough for my liking, but I like the iridescent like quality of it, so I wanted to try it. I also actually bought this one. This is their collaboration with it doesn't say here. It doesn't say who the collaboration is with. Oh, that's a shame. Does it say it on the palette? Because it's the... Oh, it doesn't. Oh, how sad I would be if my name wasn't even on the palette. Oh, that's so... I'm so sad for her. They didn't even put her name on the palette. Oh, that's a shame. That is really a shame. Well, it's the TikToker, that like beautiful TikToker that looks a little bit like Marilyn Monroe. And I have this one to deepen up with if I need to. I bought this. It's an all matte palette, but this matte has some like shimmer particles in it. But we are going to start out with this one, which is the darkest one in this palette. We're going to see how that works out. I have no idea if it's gonna be like, because listen, here's the thing. When you buy a palette like this, I'm not expecting it to go super deep. Oh my god, this really is tacky. I'm not expecting it to go super deep, so, but like, I get what I, like, oh, that is basically my skin color, but it is what it is, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't be upset that this palette doesn't go deep enough. I bought it. And I was interested in the, like, the iridescent shell theming that they had going on. So, I mean, it is what it is. It is a lighter palette. But I'm gonna see if I can do, like, a look that has a little bit of a neutral... Because I want to do looks that's, like, stuff that I like, but also maybe stuff that is like a mix between neutrals and colors, so that if you want to recreate and wear it in your everyday life, it's not like full on right away from the circus look. So I'm just putting a little bit of this out here, and I'm gonna use the clean side now, and I'm just gonna blend the edge a little bit. And maybe I will end up deepen this look up a little bit with the dark brown from the other palette, just to make it more mine, but I want to show what you can do with this palette before I do that. I have not tried the ColourPop palettes in this plexi packaging before. They actually stopped sending me PR before they started releasing these, so I'm excited to actually be trying it out and see if I think it's a different formula or if it's like the same ColourPop formula that they have, because sometimes when you change your packaging, the formula inevitably changes. People might not think that, but actually if you have a shadow in a round pan and then you press the exact same shadow formula in a square pan, it might change the formula a bit depending on how to keep it stable in a different form. So that's why I think it's sometimes interesting to try things from brands that I know when they switch up the packaging or switch up the pan sizes, because it all depends on like what you can get. For example, I know of brands that has switched from a round pan to a square pan because they were able to make their formula more stable in a square pan and hence not have to press it so hard, so that the formula actually became more pigmented. So keep that in mind when you're also looking at like pan sizes and stuff, and when brands change pan sizes. It might not be for an aesthetic reason, it might be because it makes the formula better or more stable or something like that. But that looks, I mean, honestly, it looks really pretty. It is a gray toned taupe. So I feel like it's very true to pan, and I feel like at least this shade is the ColourPop formula that I know and love. So it looks really good. It looks good. Let's try this one. The one that is like the minty. You can see it looks, you can see shimmer here, right? It is like a mint matte with shimmer in it. So I think I am going to take this is my favorite kind of a brush. Honestly, a fluffy brush that's like oval, rectangular. I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to put that in my crease, like the inner part. Am I going to put that? I think I'm going to put it on the lid too, and I can layer some of the iridescence on top. This is not as pigmented, just initial, or maybe it is. Maybe not as pigmented as that mint one that was in the Palm Springs palette. But not far from it. I feel like if I just went in with 2 layers, I was able to build it up. I'm going to blend it in just a little bit. I like the tone of this one. It's a really pretty pale pool blue. So this is the look right now, and I really want to use this one because it is like a Hello? Are you shy? Oh, there's a little... Okay, this is definitely gonna be one of those putting it on with my finger. I mean, it's there. But this is definitely a topper. Okay, it was really pretty on. Listen, I judged you too harshly. It was pretty on. But don't think that you're gonna put this one on without anything underneath and that it's gonna give you like extraordinary results. This is a topper shade, people, okay? You heard it here first. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you heard it here like for the 18th millionth time and you're like, Angie, you are behind, which could be true. I do like it though. It gave a little sparkle, but this could be more pigmented. I'm just letting it it's a little anticlimactic. Oh my god, I was gonna say anticlimactic the other day to my husband, and I said antioxidant, and he's like, "Are you okay?" Oh, I'm like, that's very antioxidant. He's like, "Yep, that's me. That's me, failing at the language." I mean, it looks pretty. It looks nice. That's nice. I put a little bit of the brown underneath here so you can see as well, because I want to use this blue. Or am I going to use this blue? No, I really want to use this one. Let me clean up. And I want to use that under my eyes to meet up a little bit as like a different... It's just an excuse. I want to use as many colors as possible. This is more of a traditional shimmer. This one was a Super Shock. The one in the corner here. That one was a Super Shock. You can see that I dug into it a little bit. But this one that I'm using now, it's more traditional shimmer. So I did spray it because I did powder under my eyes. And I want to make sure that it's like showing up. It's a really pretty color. Really pretty color. I love a blue that's like a little gray toned, because it's like denim. Oh, it matches this. Look at me. It just has a little bit of a denim look to it, and I really like that. That looks really pretty. I love that color. Maybe I should have used that all over my eyes, because like all over my eyes, all over my face. But no, honestly, love a blue with a little bit of a like gray undertone for shimmers, because it just, I don't know, blues with like greens, the turquoises, they're nice, but I do prefer blues that don't have a green undertone. Okay, I want to use this one just a little bit because this is the look that I did, and honestly I could use that like matte shadow, the blue one in the inner corners, and that will be absolutely perfection. But I want to try this one out a little bit. Where's my pencil brush? Let me clean that off a little bit. And I want to use the white, because I love a white inner corner, and I want to see if this is pigmented. Oh, I just dotted that on. Oh yes, I love a good matte white. I just feel like it really brightens up. Oh, that makes me so happy. This was beautiful. Beautiful. I just dotted that on. How beautiful. Let me take a small brush. I just cleaned this one. Look at me. And I'm going to use this one that's called Picture Show. And I'm just going to do a little bit out here. Just add a teensy little bit of depth out here. Not much, just a little bit. You can tell the difference. It's just a little bit of a difference. I think that looks really pretty with it together. I like how that looks. And of course, I brought out Prance. This is unfortunately discontinued, but I feel like it's the perfect shade to have. I think it is available in like some sets, but unfortunately it is not available as like a single right now at ColourPop. But it comes back every now and then, and if you see it, I would definitely grab it, because this has been my favorite eyeliner for the waterline for, what is it, 5-6 years? It is just the best. I love this eye look. This is so pretty. I'm so happy with this. It just looks very beautiful. And a little bit unusual for me with the brown and the blue, but I really like it. Okay, I'm a big fan. Do I have anything left to use? I don't think so. Oh, also I bought more of these. Remember how I tried the Mango Lassi one in this NYX This Is Milky Gloss in the Milkshake collection? I bought the orange one. Smells like mango, and it's just so juicy and a little bit, it's like a jelly gloss. Like it has a little bit of a color but still see-through, and they say it's milky, but basically it's just, it gives you a little bit of pigment but it's still see-through. And I also bought the Mint Choc Ship Shake, and it smells like mint chocolate, and it is like green, but like not a lot, but like you can see there's just a little bit of a mint hint. Oh, mint hint. And I also bought the one in Milk and Honey, and it smells like honey. And this one is just a little bit of a, you can see like a peachy see-through. So yeah, This smells beautiful, and yeah, I'm very, very happy about these. Now I have 3. I will link those down below as well in case you're interested in another gloss from the drugstore that is not opaque, beautiful, wonderful on the lips, smells absolutely gorgeous. And this one does not have sparkles like the one that I have on now, but I'm a big fan. I am gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna open, this is my favorite drugstore mascara. I'm gonna open a new one. This is the Maybelline Sky High. Opening a new mascara. Oh, makes me so happy. I'm gonna use this, and I love this mascara. I'm gonna use this, and then I'm gonna put on some lashes because I love lashes. And my favorite right now from the drugstore are the Ardell Lash Contour Outer Volume. This is the 2nd pack that I bought of these. They are just so good. Oh my god, I've told you before that my toxic trait is definitely saying that I'll be right back and actually believing it myself. So it's been 45 minutes, and I will say my eyeshadow started creasing a little bit, so maybe that's a good thing. I usually don't have a problem with that, but let me see if I can fix it. That is my dog. Apparently he is fed up with me. Let me see if I can fix that. Not really. Okay, that's not ideal. Let's see if I can use the matte shadow instead. I don't know if that was a combo with the primer and the Super Shock shadow, but that is definitely good to know because I usually don't have a problem at all with creasing. So is that like the primer? Or what is that? Because that is usually never a problem that I have, especially with matte shadows. Maybe it's the primer. Huh. Very interesting, but yeah, this is it. Maybe I need to use that primer again with something else because like there are a few things that I go through in my makeup collection. Like listen, I review makeup for a living. I try makeup for a living so that I can let you know which things are fun, which things are good quality, and there are a few things that I go through. The things that I go through are eyebrow pens, under eye powders, and eye primers. So I was thinking I was going to try and go through this one, but now I kind of want to try it again with another eyeshadow formula and see if it's this one that's creasing. Did I use too much? Was it like the eyeshadows? I don't know. But usually I don't have a problem with creasing with ColourPop shadows at all, not even the Super Shocks. So that was a little bit shocking. Okay, don't judge me for that joke. I'm usually quite funny. Am I? I don't know. But this is the look anyways. I really do like it. I like the look. I like all of it. Should I reapply some gloss now that it's been literally 45 minutes? Maybe. Maybe. It is a little sticky. It is a little sticky, and also I will say it's been a really long time since I started applying this bronzer, and it is still a little tacky, but not sticky like it was before, but there's definitely a little tack to it. So if you prefer something that stays a little bit more hydrating, stays a little bit more dewy, you might really enjoy this Pixie bronzer. I will of course link everything that I'm using down below. I will say I think the foundation looks wonderful. Wonderful. It covered what needed to be covered, but it still looks like skin. I will of course be using this a little bit more, but yeah, I found it at Target. I will leave a link to it down below. So far I'm very impressed with all of these things except how the eyeshadow creased, but other than that, I think this is nice. Is this the best eyeshadow palette that ColourPop has ever released? I don't know. I thought that this one was a little weak. Should we swatch this pink one? This pink one has more pigment than the blue one. The blue one you can see, it's a little weak. The pink one had more shimmer to it. So yeah, it's just that one that was like a little weak. I probably could have used the highlighter instead. Because that pink one is nice, but the blue one is like, there's a little faint sparkle there, but the pink one, a lot more. So yeah, these are my thoughts about these products. Have you found any great drugstore finds lately? I would love to hear about them. Do check out the description box for more info. Do not forget to subscribe, and I will see you again tomorrow for a new video. Bye!